Welcome back to Fut-Afrique, the best African football show on the continent. And this is the part of the show we honor our African football queens, and also we get the answer to that trivia question. Remember, the earlier question was, how many times has Ghana won the AFCON tournament? No need to Google the answer when we have the baddest in the game. Jessica, Chidima, Nkomo, aka Auntie D Ski, is here to give us the answer. Hello,
Jessica. All
those
those names. I'm going to forget one of them, but I'm so glad you included Chidima. Wow, how are you?
Yes, I'm excellent. Can you give us the answer to that question?
Definitely. The correct answer is 4 times. And the last time they won it was in 1982. We didn't witness the victory, some of us. I know you also didn't witness that victory. You were probably about 3-4 years old, but it was definitely 4 times.
Why is Jessica going to do that?
I had to
try and reveal how young I am on national TV. I see what she tried to do there. Okay, now let's move on to the story making headlines today, because a UWC lady is making headlines at the moment. Can you tell us more about that story?
Amogelang Motau. So in the last show, we did speak about her moving, but the club that she was moving to hadn't made an official announcement, so we didn't want to actually reveal. But she moves over to Mexico, and she now joins the club that Hilda Magaya is currently playing for. I think it's a nice thing for her to actually have a player that comes back from home, that you
could
can
settle her in.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's a very great club. And I love the fact that she moves to the Mexican League. If we have been seeing, they've been signing a lot of African players. She's going to be joining your Jermaine Soposenyes, your Tembi Khatlana, Sinokolo Qasane, one of the Qasane twins. So I think it's also just going to be a nice balance for them to have to be there. And another extension of congratulations to Amogelang Motau. She walks away with Player of the Season for the Hollywoodbets Super League, which is the national senior league in South Africa. So I think really the universe is absolutely aligning for her, and she absolutely deserves it.
But is this good for South African football? Is this a way to grow the football in the country?
Is.
Because you see the example of, say, Spain, how their league is so good that when they play at the major tournaments, because the players know each other from playing in the local league together, they shine on the world stage.
Yeah. That sometimes is not an advantage though, Ade.
So shouldn't these players be playing in the local league together?
No, I don't agree with that, because remember, if we are trying to ever go to contend in FIFA World Cup as an African nation, we will never be able to advance out of the group stages or even make it to the semi-finals if the standard of playing, all we know is what the standard of playing is in Africa. So we need players to go out into the European spaces to play up against these players that are giving us a run for our money every time during big, tournaments like the FIFA World Cup. Yes, we do have some players who are playing local football. We've seen when you have a selection, when Coach Days picks her players for Banyana, for example, you will have some local players who are going to bring that local flair, but you definitely need those pieces of experience that come from the European space, who understand football at a different level. Look at Nigeria, for example.
Level, yes.
Most Nigerian players play overseas. Your Oshowalas, and your our favorite goalkeeper, they're all playing overseas. Most of them, 90%, Plumtree is in Saudi. But when they come together, you can see that they are bringing the results. That's why Nigeria, when it comes to the women's football, they are sitting at the top because of that international experience that they bring. And I think for UWC, also university team, getting their players out there just speaks volumes about the growth and the development that university teams do invest in the players. And I think they are one club that's doing phenomenally well, coming from CAF, as well as their new signings. We see players like Mabatu Mokhale, who came from JVW, now joins them. Kat, who is the one of the Banyana goalkeepers who came from Royal AM, now joins UWC. So I think it really is great for South African football.
All right. Well, that's one thing I like about the women's game. You're always guaranteed drama. Auntie Diski, nobody was beaten 22-2 this week, right? No?
No scores like that.
No scores like
safe.
that. Because we're going to the WAFCON qualifiers. And I like to hear those dramatic stories, really.
You won't find those scores in WAFCON. You know, with the senior teams, you won't find those big score margins.
Okay, well, Malawi go through, but hey, trust women's football to have some drama because Congo, exit. And can you tell us why? Why did they just decide to exit this qualifier?
It's a very unfortunate reason. You know, they're pulling out due to the fact that they don't have enough friendly preparation matches to help them, you know, in the running of this competition. And for me, that speaks volumes. Why is there not enough matches that are happening around continental football, you know, that can prep teams? We know Banyana is going to be facing Lesotho now for the friendlies. But how is it possible that within the African region, we don't have countries that are willing to partake in friendlies, especially before such big tournaments like the WAFCON? I mean, 2026, you know, FIFA qualifiers. This should be something that sits at high prestige. So I think it's very unfortunate for Congo. Obviously, an advantage for the team that moves ahead, for Malawi, you know, and they have a tough one because, I mean, they are going to either be facing Angola or Zimbabwe.
Or Zimbabwe, yes. I was going to come to that. Now, which of the two do you think they should rather be hoping for, Angola or Zimbabwe?
I think any of them, looking at Malawi and, you know, the kind of players that they have, the two Chawinga sisters, I think they are very good when it comes to, you know, African football, especially with their local players. I do think that Angola is one team that, you know, the underestimated opponent that's probably going to give them a bit of a tougher challenge. Looking at how bad they want this, you know, it's almost like teams that have really never made it up the ranks like that. You know, they come guns blazing to ensure that the world can actually see what they're all about. So I think maybe Angola might be a bit of a tougher opponent for them, but I'm not too frightened for them.
So there you have it. Auntie Diski has just shown us why women aspiring to be great in this football space need to keep dreaming. Brian Mofokeng showed us how federations are investing in their coaches to compete on the AFCON stage and beyond. To all the footballers watching the game right now, remember the words of Alex Morgan. The field is your canvas, your feet, your ball is your brush. Now go ahead and make a masterpiece. Till next time, goodbye.